Hello developers, welcome on YouTube. Today's our topic is multi-step form with Laravel. In previous chapter we have discussed about which version is used and which functions are involved in our tutorial. Update profile, change password, registration and login pages. So uh, let us get deep dive in coding, form validations and other details. So let us start. In login, on login page, user request using base home page. So it will be redirected to login. So actually functions are called from web.php under routes directory. So here login get method is called user controller and login method. App http controller user controller has login method. Login method has one condition. If user ID session variable is set, then it will be redirected to index page. So index page is this one, user controller index. So it will be redirected to index here. So user session will be checked and user's dashboard will be shown when user is validated. So let us go through login page. In login function, if not set session variable user ID, then it will be redirected to login view. View is called for to load login blade file. Login blade file is placed here, views directory, login page. So here in advanced method we can also use page fragmentation like header, content and footer, which are basic necessary. Header contains CSS and JS files, which are need to be early in loading process. So and other stuff which is in validations and other details we can also mention in header, other alls or footer section. And in content we can use yield method, yield facade we can use for future purpose. If we set yield test, means it will allow us to use it in future. Also, when we declare yield test method, we can also mention its default values like HTML tag. Also, we can use it. If we use it again in blade page with test, section and test at the rate section test and section, it will override that value. So let us go to next container. Okay, here we have login and password, email and password, register page. So here register page. Let us go to through registration process and how form validation and other Ajax functions are called. Let us go through. So on registration, so registration, user controller registration. User controller has registration method here. So session variable for this page. Step 1. Step 1 here. Step 1 and step 2. So here user data 1 is used for step 1. If session has user step 1 values, then it will be fetched here. And it will be redirected to tab 2, which is step 2. If step 1 has no value in session variable, then it will be redirected with blank values. View register blade page. So here we can see jQuery validation methods, and jQuery UI JS for this one, calendar. Date picker is used. So here input name, date of birth, and ID, date of birth. On date of birth method, date picker will be loaded on document.ready. Dollar function means document.ready. It is advanced method. We can also use dollar document dot ready method. Function like this. Both are the same. So here we know style method is used for CSS using classes and HTML tag names. Form, registration form. Registration form has first name, last name, email, date of birth, state, city, username, password, repassword. Here we can see class tab is used for tabbing functionality. But tabbing functionality is decided from user controller registration method based on session data. So decision is on PHP script hand. So here we have passed in data array active tab method, active tab property. So active tab property as if has a tab2 method, then it will be redirected to second one page, this one, which has a username and password. So otherwise we we have used here we used here ternary operation. Ternary operation. Ternary operation is a shorthand method. Ternary operation PHP. So here we can see conditional statement, statement 1 and statement 2. Statement 1 is called when condition is true. So here if active tab has tab 2 value, then it will current tab variable, JavaScript variable inside script tag. So current tab is equal to 1, otherwise 0. 0 means it will be redirected and it displays registration step 1 page. So on document.ready, on tab, active tab, jQuery validation methods, confirm password, first name, email rules. As we can see, email has a actual pattern @domain.com and email ID. So here we can add our regular expression pattern here. jQuery validator, add method, email rules. Whatever we want to put our method name, email rule. Email rule is used here. Email rule true should be true. So here if pattern is equal to our input value, then it will be redirected to true. If it will, if true, if not match, then it will return false. So on false it will show email rule, email valid, enter valid email address. Here first name allows A to Z, caps lock A to Z, 0 to 9, it will also allow. So here using form ID validation will be load on document.ready method. So here first name, last name, email, date of birth, state, city, username, password, confirm password. Here we can see current tab is equal to 0. Current tab is equal to 0. We have all form tags, city, username, password and repassword, but we can validate it using current tab. Here current tab is equal to 0, then it will be using, it will validated using depends method. So required is equal to true, we can decide using current tab is equal to 0. So if we on username, password and repassword means active tab is equal to 2, then it has current tab has 1 value. So only current tab is equal to 1. Username, password and confirm password will be validated only. Now let us talk about on final Ajax call means on complete registration step. So after complete validation, let us see here on next, go to inspect element. Next previous function is call, means here we can search. next previous function. What is the role of next previous? Means next previous function. We have rendered here current tab value. So here we can see on so here current tab has if validate method has validation has a true value, then it will return false, means it will not be submitted, means validate form here current tab if current tab set current tab has values. Y is used for current tab elements array, and element has no value, then it will redirected to false, otherwise it will be by default true. So here if registration form as validation dot valid, means if it will be if it has a true, then it will be submitted here. If current tab is equal to 0, then first name to city, all values are stored in JavaScript object, and ajax method will be called, and valid value will be based on ajax response. Let us we can see here validate form is called from other method. So JavaScript is single threaded scripting language. So here on validate form ajax method has asynchronous, means false value is mentioned because we want synchronous operation. If registration ajax method as true or false decision is executed, then this then decided result will be used for next operation here. So all this other part will be executed after validate form complete execution. So on validate form so here if validation as false value, means not false means true, if is equal to if validate form has a false value, means not false means true is equal to true is equal to true, then return false means other other next previous function part will not be executed and execution will be stopped here. Otherwise, if validate form has a true value, then not true means false is equal to true. Then it will not be stop. And current tab has a none value. Current tab is equal to current tab plus n is equal to here, which is passed here on plus 1 minus 1 here, plus 1 minus 1. So it is decided current tab is equal to x dot length, means tab has a complete array. So tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So it has a HTML tags array. Tab like x of 0, x of 1 is equal to x dot length is equal to 2. So here x dot length x and x of current tab is equal to 0 because we are on tab 1. So here but we should, so here we are on tab current tab greater than is equal to current length, total length is equal to 2, current tab is equal to should be 1. So 1 greater than is equal to 2, then current tab is equal to current tab plus n. So 1 plus 1 2. On tab 2 it will be submitted. So we should have on second step. First page first tab has should be tab 0. On tab 0 it should be stop, and on second tab it should be executed this part. So here if current tab is equal to 2, then it will be redirected. Otherwise this part will not be redirected and return false. So on tab 0 return false, and on tab 1 it will be validation and registration will be completed. So return false. On first tab which has a 0, so it will decide for next tab. So current tab is equal to 0 plus 1. 0 plus 0 plus 1. So current tab is equal to 1. Then it will be showed using show function. Show function. So current show tab is equal to n has a value. So show tab. So current tab has 1. 0 plus 1 1. So tab 1 will be hide and tab 2 will be showed. So here n is equal to 0, then display none, else x dot length minus 1. So button and previous button will be show and hide feature. So for tab indicator, fixed tab indicator will be used here. So which tab is active, it is used. So thank you for watching.